So really only 2 offensive touchdowns over 2 games. So they're going to try and it's going to be a tough to see if they can get that rolling today against a good Middlebury team.
And the challenge will certainly be this Tiger defense. So in the 2 games so far this season, Middlebury has given up 0 points.
Yeah, and that's going to be the key here is for BFA to really start rolling. Kind of just had a couple years ago, got a couple of slow starts that really hurt them in a couple games, so they need to get out quick tonight.
With that, we'll pause momentarily here for the national anthem. Colins-Perley Sports Center in St. Albans. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand. Again, the home opener for the Bobwhites come in 1-1 overall, facing off against the 2-0 Middlebury Tigers. Anthony, the Tigers historically very active running the football and just taking a look at last week when they faced off against Burlington/South Burlington, ran the ball 41 times for 220 yards.
Yeah, and they're one of those teams, they're almost like similar to BFA where they don't ever really want to throw. They want to just pound it down your throat, take off a lot of time with every drive, and kind of impose their will on opposing defenses, and that's what they do. They have a lot of, they're fast off the ball, and they have a lot of kind of trick stuff out on backfield, so they do a really good job kind of pounding it down the defense.
Now, although the Bobwhites only came away with that one special teams touchdown last week, sounded like they were able to move the football a little bit more last week against Hartford as compared against MMU, just weren't able to punch the ball into the end zone.
Yeah, and unfortunately late in that game, they had a touchdown that looked like it equalized it, but then a block in the back call late ended up negating that, and then they ended up turning it over on downs, and then Hartford ended up scoring to kind of seal that win last week. So they're right there with Hartford, who I would say is one of the top teams in the state. So, I mean, they went toe-to-toe down in Hartford.
I mean, back in week 1, Hartford absolutely blew out St. Johnsbury, which I don't think anybody saw coming.
No, I mean, Hartford's definitely, I'd say, right up there with this Middlebury team.
All right, line drive, kick over on the far side of the field. It's going to take a hop and picked up by Tiffler. He races here to the near side, looking for a corner, turns it upfield, and finally wrapped up down around his own 26-yard line. So Michael Tilfer on, call it about a 10-yard kickoff return, and the BFA offense will take the field. Now, Anthony, the Bobwhites this year doing things a little bit different out of the wing tee, running most of the time their quarterback, Cole Montang, out of the shotgun formation.
Yeah, he's a super athletic kid, so not a bad idea there. Super athletic, has a good arm to him, can scramble, and can design a lot of plays with him back there.
2 receivers set. That's Colby Williams split out wide here to the near side. Again, Montang now up under center. There's the snap, handoff straight ahead for a couple on the play. That's number 41, Seneca DeRocher, sophomore, has a couple of touchdowns on the season.
And that's someone to keep an eye out. He was an absolutely outstanding quarterback at the youth level for the Steelers, and he's, as you mentioned, made a couple of really good plays, special teams so far for the team.
Officials credit him 5 yards for the carry. That sets up a manageable 2nd and 5 at the BFA 31-yard line. Again, Montang up under center, 2 receiver set. Now we got motion by Dakota Rye. Rye will take the handoff, looks for a bit of a seam, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe able to wiggle for a couple more. Is going to set up a 3rd and about 4 for BFA.
And that's somebody else to keep an eye out. Rye with a couple of touchdowns in that first game against MMU. Big physical kid. He's got speed in open field, but he's not afraid to lay that shoulder down either.
Showed off some beautiful hands on a couple of gorgeous receptions against the Cougars in the opening week. Led to a couple of BFA Bobwhite touchdowns.
And if you look at this Middlebury defensive line, they're not huge, but they're quick off the ball. So if you're BFA, you got to get quick off that ball, else they're just going to beat you to that hole.
Colby Williams splits out wide here to the near side. Now the Bobwhites do drop out into shotgun formation. That's Dakota Ryan motion. They hand off straight ahead to Seneca DeRocher, and he's going to be just short of the first down. Looking at a 4th and 1 here for the Bobwhites, maybe 4th and 1.5 at their own 35-yard line. And one has to expect, Anthony, that Bobwhites will punt away.
Yeah, this deep in their zone. Don't want to give Middlebury too good a field position to start off this game.
So DeRocher drops back. He'll stand at his own 20-yard line to punt away. So it looks like it'll be a 4-and-out series here for the Bobwhite offense. 10 minutes remaining here. Now we've got motion as the Bobwhites see what they do. Bring it in tight. They still leave DeRocher back there to kick on a 4th and 1. Now we've got a whistle on the field and a delay a game called against the BFA special teams unit.
Yeah, you got to wonder if they maybe had something set up there and maybe it just took too long. That's kind of the nice thing when your punter has experience as a quarterback, as DeRocher does. You could always pull out the trick stuff. Not sure if that's what they're doing there or if they just saw something they didn't like out there.
A little bit of a breeze here at the Colins-Perley this evening. Snap, DeRocher gets it down. Wind to DeRocher's back high. Beautiful end-over-end tick. It's a ball's going to roll and is going to stop at the 1-yard line. He picks it up, and BFA ball is down at the 1. Jordan Martin thought that was going to roll into the end zone for the Tigers. But again, Seneca DeRocher, beautiful punt. Couldn't have planted that any better.
From how deep he was in his own zone, he's setting up about his 22-yard line. That's a heck of a punt from a high schooler.
So Tigers offense hits the field for the first time. 9:37 remaining in the first quarter. Ball will be spotted officially at the Middlebury 2-yard line. We'll see who the Tigers roll out here at quarterback. Looks to be number 13, the senior, Ryan Thomas Denoy. So Denoy up under center, 3 men in the backfield, fullback and 2 tailbacks. They hand it off to the second man through here to the near side, and not a lot of running room. Tigers able to pick up 3 on the carry. Looked like that was maybe Brian Whiteley on the carry. Call it 2. And Anthony, it looks like at least early on here, the Bobwhites defensively coming out in a 5-4 defense.
Yeah, and with this wishbone, that's what you got to do. Is you got to seal those gaps. They're going to send 3 running backs at you and give it with 2 lead blockers. So you got to really seal those gaps and meet them at the line.
Motion in the backfield by Austin Neal. Austin Neal takes the handoff. Not a lot of room. Maybe a pickup of 1. It's going to set up a 3rd and long here for the Tigers. Call it 3rd and 7. And again, so far in this early season, this is not a position this Tiger offense has been in thus far.
No, and I mean, as we said, credit to BFA's defense doing phenomenal between the shutout and the first game against MMU, and playing toe-to-toe with Hartford. So especially going 3 and out in their offensive drive, it'd be huge for a big stand for BFA defensively here.
Ball spotted at the 5-yard line. They need to hit their own 11 to pick up the first down. Thomas Denoy up under center, motion again in the backfield here by the Tigers. Handoff's going to be a counter on the far side of the field. Breaks 1 tackle, but not enough for the first down. That was Nick Austin Neal on the carry. Give him 5 yards, but he needed 6. And it looked like the Tigers will be forced to punt away.
Yeah, and good job by BFA's defense right there, seeking out that little misdirection right there in the counter. It looked like they were just trying to dive it up the middle, but doing a good job on the counter, and BFA doing a good job staying home.
4th and 1 here for the Tigers. Heading back deep for BFA on the punt return is Liam Wood. Wood seems to be setting up around the Tiger 41-yard line. Late substitution in here for the Tigers as well. Dropping back Cameron Stone to punt away. Now we've got a whistle on the field, and we'll see if Tigers call a timeout, as they were taking a lot of time. And indeed, we will see our first timeout here of the evening.
And here we are on the first timeout.
Taking a look at our out-of-town games this evening. Hartford up in Chittenden County taking on that South Burlington squad. The Seahorses, or what do they go by now?
Seawolves.
Seawolves, thank you. That's who the Bobwhites will be playing on the road next Friday night. Rutland at Mount Anthony, North Country hosting Brattleboro. Spalding at U32, Mount Mansfield at Essex. That should be a fun one to watch. And St. Johnsbury holding Colchester. All those games taking place this Friday evening in Vermont high school football. All right, back out on the field here at the Collins-Perley. Liam Wood stands back at around his own the Middlebury 45-yard line. Stone in his own end zone. There's the snap. Gets it away. Short end-over-end kick. And it's going to take a hop and a Bobwhite roll, and Middlebury going to be forced to down that at their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting right there. The Middlebury player, Gunnar, had no idea where it was, kind of hit off him and went in a favorable bounce for BFA. So, great field position right here for BFA.
Officials will mark it down right inside the 25-yard line of Middlebury. So, great field position here for the Bobwhites' second offensive series of the evening.
This will be important to make something happen here with such good field position after that big stop.
It's almost like a turnover.
Yeah.
So Bobwhites back to the shotgun here with quarterback Cole Montang. Hands off to DeRocher. DeRocher turns upfield, gets back to the original line of scrimmage for no gain. We'll set up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, right now, Middlebury's just doing a good job on that defensive front, just getting off the ball a bit quicker than BFA, especially with these couple of misdirections. BFA linemen are going to have to do a little bit better job getting off the ball.
7:18 remaining here in the first quarter. 0-0 our score. Again, home opener for the Bobwhites here this evening. Bobwhites break the huddle. Thomas DeMur lines up wide here to the near side. Looks like a trips formation here to the near side. Again, Montang shotgun formation. There's a snap. A little quick pitch here and nowhere to run for Seneca DeRocher. Turns around in circles. In fact, it's going to be a loss of 3 on the carry.
Yeah, that's a good job by Kagan Besser-Jones for Middlebury, sneaking that out, making his blocker miss and getting him in the backfield.
So Bobwhites, who may have been just within field goal range at the start of this drive, probably out of field goal range now with the ball at the Tiger 30-yard line.
Yeah, it took a little bit for that kind of pitch to get going right there, so Middlebury doing a good job kind of sneaking it out.
Thomas DeMur splits out wide here to the near side. That's Dakota Rye, the slot man here to the near side. And we got motion, I believe, by BFA. Let's see. And indeed, that is the timeout. Timeout. So Bobwhite coaching staff saw something they didn't like, use one of their 3 timeouts to regroup here on the near side. Anthony, your thoughts here early in the first quarter?
Yeah, it looked like right there, it looked like Middlebury was sending the house, so maybe BFA didn't like the play that they had drawn up there. But, yeah, as we said before, BFA's defense has been good all year. They did a good job on that first drive, and now the offense just needs to reward the good stop there. If they come away with no points, it's going to be huge and really swing the momentum back to Middlebury's side if Middlebury's able to come up with a stop here. It's obviously 4-down territory at their own 30 right now, but 3rd and 15, they got to make at least a good chunk of yardage getting back here.
Excellent crowd here on hand this Friday evening at the Collins-Perley Sports Center in St. Albans. So here we go, back out on the field. 3rd and 15 here for the Bobwhites. 2 receivers set here to the near side. That's Colby Williams split out wide. Montang looking downfield, airs it out into the end zone, and Williams has it! Incomplete, drops out as Williams was coming down into the end zone, lands on his back, and that popped the football loose, Anthony.
Yeah, it's interesting. I couldn't quite see if there was maybe a little bit of contact there because the defender didn't turn around at all.
Taking a look on our instant replay, you'll see Williams makes a nice adjustment and comes down with it, but by hitting the ground, that knocks the ball loose. And we'll see what head coach Jeff Murray decides to dial up on 4th and 15 at the Tiger 30-yard line.
Yeah, you got to figure it's going to be another similar play right there. You need 15 yards. Really need to make sure you get it to the sticks. A short pass here doesn't do much for BFA.
DeMar splits out wide to the far side. Williams also on that far side, and Rye. Montang rolls that side. Now he looks, stops, fires it high, deep towards the end zone, and it's caught for a touchdown, BFA! Dakota Rye comes down with it in the end zone, and the Bobwhites convert on a huge 4th and 15.
That was just a perfect pass by Cole Montaigne there. He had a defender coming right onto him, and good job by Dakota Rye getting behind the defender. Defender looked like he had a good line on it, but just completely undercut it.
Take a look at our handy Toyota replay here as we see Montaigne throw it deep. Rye just into the end zone, comes down with it for the 6 points. Gavin Frady's on the attempt the PAT, gets the kick up, and Frady's kick is good. Our score with 6:01 remaining here in the first quarter, BFA 7, Middlebury 0. You're watching BFA Bobwhite football on a Northwest Access TV. Dakota Rye. All right, welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor here on hand. The Bobwhites with a 7-0 lead. And Anthony, this is a position that's new to the Tigers this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what BFA wanted after the big stop by their defense. It looked like they were scared getting almost coming away with nothing, getting down 4th and long. And as we said, perfect pass by Cole Montaigne, and good job by Dakota Rye getting behind the defender who kind of over-pursued the ball in the air there.
The appears to be a full moon making its way out over the Colins-Perley here this evening. Certainly has been a scary start for the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly, as you said, not what they're used to.
High end over end kick on the far side, fielded by Whitley, who had troubles fielding that, now bunts it out to the outside, has a little bit of rain, turns the field, now wrapped up by a host of Bobwhites. But a good starting field position here for the Tigers at their own 35.
Yeah, that's a huge play there by him to pick it up and actually make a decent return out of it, because if Middlebury starts on their deep in their zone again, that's just giving BFA more momentum.
So 1st and 10 here for the Tigers. First time they've trailed all season. In fact, that's the first time the Middlebury defense has given up a touchdown in 3 games.
And that's huge for BFA. Show them some diversity and see how they handle it.
Motion in the backfield here. Snap handoff straight ahead to the fullback, Nicholas Lukish. Lukish, the fullback, nice 5 yards. If you're the Tigers, that's what you love to see on first down.
Yeah, just build up those chunk yards and keep it going. 4 yards of play, get you a first down.
Sets up a 2nd and 5, ball at the Tiger 40-yard line. Lukish lines up directly behind his quarterback. Motion in the backfield. Counter handoff here to the near side and snuffed out nicely by the Bobwhites. Number 24, Colby Williams, in on the tackle. That was Brian Whiteley on the tackle.
That was
or on the run, sorry.
That was a good job by Williams coming up, not being fooled by the misdirection, coming up and making the play.
Sets up a 3rd and call it 4 here for Middlebury's. Ball spotted at their own 41-yard line. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. BFA with a 7-0 lead. Austin Neal, slot on the near side, run a man in motion. Play action pass, dropping back, lofts it over the middle, and incomplete. Pass intended for number, let's see if we can get a number here, number 10, Penn Riney. And we'll see what the Tigers do on 4th and 4 here.
That's going to be the one thing for BFA. Yeah, Middlebury's going to run a lot, but they got to make sure they don't get complacent and forget about the pass. Almost snuck one around right there.
Liam Wood drops back deep once again for BFA. Again, Tigers punting into a bit of a breeze here. Wood settles down. High snap over his head. Bobwhites all sorts of pressure. Ball is still loose and down at the 15-yard line. Number 79, their punter, Sawyer Cordette, had that one go high over his head, and the Bobwhites, Anthony, will start off in tremendous field position for the 2nd consecutive drive.
Yeah, and that's huge right there. I don't know if Middlebury constantly switches punters, but it's a little different that you saw that right there. And maybe that's just not the center, the long snapper and the punter not having a good connection right there. But again, huge for BFA. Maybe Tigers feeling that adversity that they haven't felt all season.
1st and 10 here for the Bobwhites. Shotgun formation for Cole Montaigne. Colby Williams splits out wide to the far side. That's Dakota Rye in the slot on the far side. Montaigne looks towards the end zone, fires it in the end zone, and incomplete pass intended for Williams in that far corner.
Yeah, it looked like he might have had him. It looked like Williams might have stumbled a little bit. That kind of slowed him down, but not a bad idea, putting it only where his guy could get it.
Clock will stop with 4:28 here in the first quarter with the incompletion. Again, the Bobwhites coming into tonight's game. A tough road loss last week against Hartford, and again, the Tigers rolling into the Colins-Perley this evening, 2-0.
Yeah, and obviously that good competition maybe really woke BFA up and got them ready for this game, especially being a home opener.
Williams splits out wide to the far side. Avery Smith, wingback here to the near side. Handoff goes to Seneca DeRocher, makes one tackle or miss, and able to pick up a couple. Not a whole lot of running room, but Seneca DeRocher kept his feet moving, so turned what may have been a negative into a positive, Anthony.
Yeah, and right now, Middlebury's doing a good job getting off the ball, really beating those offensive linemen for BFA off the ball, so not getting a lot of running room. So maybe you'll start seeing BFA maybe go more towards the passing game, make them start respecting the pass a little bit more and open things up in the middle for the running game.
3rd and 8, ball at the 15, so I would say certainly if the Bobwhites don't convert, they're currently in field goal territory. Montaigne calls his own number, not able to, well, he does break the tackle, now looking to make outside, fires it, and it is incomplete. Looking for Dakota Rye. Was also looking to see if any offensive linemen then made it downfield, but nobody. So 4th and 8, and we may see our first field goal attempt of the game.
Yeah, good job by Cole Montaigne, just getting rid of the ball, not taking the loss of anything and putting him in a harder field goal range.
So Gavin Frates is out to attempt the field goal attempt. That's Colby Williams that will hold. And this looks to be a 31-yard attempt, and it is far enough, but it looks to be wide right. So the 31-yard field goal, no good. And the Bobwhites come away empty-handed after that opportunity.
Yeah, and that's tough for them because if they score right there, they put Middlebury in a very tough spot. Now it kind of opens things up where Middlebury puts a drive together and gets a score here. Now they're right back in it.
So with a missed field goal, the ball will be respotted at the Middlebury 20-yard line. 3:37 remaining BFA. Again, Bobwhites look to be in a 5-4 base defense here this evening. Ryan Thomas Denoy up under center. We've got motion in the backfield. Denoy hands off to the second back through. Not a whole lot of room there. Maybe a pickup of 1 or 2. That was Nick Lukish on the carry. No, they give him 3 on the carry.
And that's going to be a big key for BFA. They're going to try and these dives, and then they also have it looks like they're trying to run almost like a triple option where the quarterback has the option to pull it out of the fullback's stomach. So the ends have to stay home for BFA and respect the outside game too.
Sets up a 2nd and 6. Long count for the Tigers. Quarterback keeper on the far side and nowhere to run. Well defended. Well, they'll give him a couple more on the carry, but overall, Anthony, well defended by the defensive end on the far side.
Yeah, that was a good job. It looked like that was Justin Brown on the outside who got a piece of him, and the quarterback was able to just kind of fall forward for a few yards, but good job keeping him limited there.
3rd and 3. Tigers have yet to convert for a first down here in the first quarter. Long count. Gonna be a sweep here to the near side, and the Bobwhites blow that up in the backfield. James Harrison with a big tackle and loss for that Bobwhite defense.
Yeah, and that was huge by Harrison. I coached him down at Steelers, and even as a 5th grader, he's one of the most fundamentally sound players you'll see out there. And just a great job from a linebacker sniffing that out and going in the backfield and getting that tackle.
That's a loss of 5 on the play. Will force the Tigers to punt for the 3rd time this quarter, looking at a 4th and 9. We see a change in punter once again. Cameron Stone goes back in after that last punt. Stone's punt this time a little better than his first. Hops at the Tiger 45-yard line, and it will be down quickly there by Middlebury.
That was a huge stop by BFA. It looked like Middlebury might get their first down of the game. And good job by BFA shutting that down and not letting them start building any momentum.
So Bobwhites 1st and 10 at the Middlebury 45-yard line. This will be the Bobwhites' third time here in the first quarter, Anthony, starting in Tiger territory.
And that's huge. I mean, if you could start on their side every time, that's huge for BFA, especially when, as we mentioned before, a couple years ago, they're kind of known for their slower starts.
Colby Williams splits out wide here near side. 4 receivers set for the Bobwhites. High snap. Montaigne calls his own number. Stutter steps. Not quite able to make it around the defensive end. Number 24, Brady McDonough, who made the tackle. Montaigne almost broke that free, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's what BFA's got to do. They got to start getting the quick plays going out there, because anything that takes a while to develop, it looks like Middlebury's doing a really good job just snuffing it out and getting in the backfield. So maybe you see something like a slant or something right here, something that's really quick off the ball for BFA to try to catch him off guard.
2nd and 9, so it was a pickup of call at 1. Again, Bobwhites looking to spread out the field, shotgun formation, 4 receiver set. Again, that's Williams split out wide here to the near side. That's Dakota Ryan motion. He'll take the handoff on the jet play, turns the corner, and nowhere to go. Beautiful containment there by number 5, Nick Austin Neal.
Yeah, it was a good job. It looked like Ryan might break it out, but then he just kind of reached out and just grabbed him. So good job pulling him down basically with one arm.
Not a lot of people can bring down Dakota Ryan with one arm, that's for sure.
No, and right now it just looks like Middlebury is just kind of selling out for that run. As soon as they see any sort of a handoff, everybody's going in the backfield. So maybe you might see a little bit of a play action here, try to catch him off balance.
Sets up a 3rd and 11. Cole Montaigne now just getting into the huddle. They'll have to call this play quickly here. Ball spotted at the Tiger 47-yard line. Trips formation here to the near side. Now we're going to have a timeout, I believe, taken by BFA, their 2nd of the game. And Anthony, I just think that play call took a little too long getting into the huddle.
Yeah, you can see the back judge start counting down for the delay of game call. So good job by Coach Murray to get the timeout, get his offense ready, and not rush into the line and make sure they don't take a delay of game, especially here. I mean, this is a huge play between this and 4th down if they don't make it, because if they can put something together and make it a 2-score game heading into the 2nd quarter, then that's huge for BFA.
Now the Tiger defense, which again hasn't, if you're just tuning in, hasn't allowed a touchdown this year until tonight. Bobwhites have not been able to run the ball. It's basically been one big pass play on a 4th and long that BFA converted, so their success thus far has been in the air.
Yeah, Middlebury's linebackers are doing a good job. As soon as they see that ball handed off anywhere, they're doing a good job flying in. So this is where any sort of maybe a misdirection or any sort of a quick pass might really catch them off guard if they're selling out for that run.
10 seconds remaining, so depending upon how long this play takes, we'll see. I'll come back to that after this play. Montaigne sprints here to the near side. Now he looks to throw it, fires it downfield, and it's going to be incomplete as 2 Tigers go up for it and negate the interception. Number 4, Nikola Lukic, had a beat on it, and what I was going to say, 3 seconds left. Certainly you want BFA to get that touchdown, or certainly a touchdown, but that 1st down, the one potential positive here with 3 seconds, BFA is going to be punting with the wind to their back here.
Yep, and see if they can pin them down deep again and then really, really change that field possession if the defense can come up again.
So the one benefit by having a little time left on here in the first quarter, as BFA will once again with Seneca DeRocher look to pin him back. High end over kick by DeRocher. Going to be fielded. Ball is loose. It was tipped. The ball's live, and Middlebury recovers at the 6-yard line. So a house of horrors so far for the Tigers here in the first quarter. That will do it for the first quarter. Our score, BFA 7, Middlebury 0. You're watching BFA Bobwhite football on Northwest Access TV. All right, welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand. Anthony, your thoughts about the first quarter?
Defenses were great. I mean, BFA obviously really pinning Middlebury back and, not allowing Middlebury to get a first down in that entire first quarter. Special teams has been a disaster for Middlebury, which is really hurting them and not giving their offense any help whatsoever. But you got to give credit to Middlebury's defense for how good BFA's field position has been. They've only had that one big play as BFA that went for the touchdown. So good job from Middlebury keeping them really in this game.
Tigers keep this one on the ground to the far side of the field. Positive pickup of 5 on the play, sending up a manageable 2nd and 5 for Middlebury. Call it down at around the 10, 15, call it 15-yard line.
It's going to be big for BFA here again to make another stop, especially this deep, and really change that field position again and hopefully capitalize when they get the ball again.
Tigers trying to change up the momentum here, right to the line of scrimmage. No huddle here for that Middlebury offense. Handoff on the far side, and that seems to do the trick as they pick up their first down of the evening.
Yeah, again, that's going to be huge for BFA, really containing them to the inside right there. They're able to get off tackle and break it to the outside a little bit. So BFA's ends are going to really have to do a good job keeping them inside and forcing them into that 5-man front.
Of course, head coach Dennis Smith will be looking where he can exploit this BFA defense. Again, Bobwhites came out in a 5-4 in this game, and Coach Smith has now seen that for the first quarter. I'm sure he'll look to make some changes. Snap over on the far side of the field. That's Brian Whiteley, and Whiteley's going to be close to a first down once again here for Middlebury.
Yeah, we saw Middlebury there coming back out of the wishbone, just setting 2 lead blockers there for Whiteley and getting a 9-yard pickup.
Got a whistle on the far side, as it looks like they'll do a potential measurement here. You're looking at a 2nd and 1 or a first down for the Tigers. So again, Middlebury hadn't picked up a first down at all in the first quarter. Looks to be picking up their second. In fact, they do have their second of the second quarter.
And that's huge if you're Middlebury, just to come in and try and start building some sort of momentum on offense.
10:36 remaining here in the second quarter. If you're just tuning in, BFA 7, Middlebury 0. Bobwhites scoring on a 4th and 15 on their second offensive possession of the game. Big conversion. Tigers now look to spread things out a bit. Thomas Denoy takes the snap and handoff straight ahead to Lukish. Lukish calls it a pickup of 4 by the officials, sets up a 2nd and 6.
And good job by BFA defender really snuffing that out. Looked like Middlebury was just dive and then almost faking that misdirection, but BFA, good job by BFA staying home.
2nd and 6. Again, the Tigers last week running the football 41 times for over 200 yards. Thomas Denoy, long count, motion in the backfield. Handoff will go to the second man through. That's Whitley, and he'll be stood up after a minimal gain. We'll set up a 3rd and short here for the Tigers at their own 40-yard line.
It's almost like Middlebury is running almost the same play, just out of different packages. Instead of having the wishbone set up in the backfield, they bring a guy in motion, and then he'll have 2 lead blockers anyways, like they would have in the wishbone anyway. So just almost running the same plays, just giving different looks and trying to keep BFA off guard.
Thomas Deneau up under center. 3rd and call it 2. Long count, motion in the backfield again by Whitley. Handoff straight ahead to the fullback, though, Lukish, and he's going to be close to the first down. And indeed, he has just enough. First down, Tigers. As offensively, they've seemed to settle down here, Anthony, in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly what they need coming out in the second, is to start imposing their will a little bit on BFA's defense, give their defense a little bit of a breather, and try to tire out BFA's.
Wishbone backfield here. Thomas Denoy. Here's a snap. Play action, back to pass. Looking downfield, airs it out, whips the ball, and incomplete. Good coverage downfield by Liam Wood of BFA. Pass intended for Penn Riney.
And good, it's a good thing that it was a little bit overthrown, because Riney was behind the secondary. Really only had Liam Wood back there for coverage, but it seemed like Piney had a little bit of a step on him.
Sets up a 2nd and 10. Clock will stop with an incompletion. 8:39 remaining here in the first half. 7-0 BFA. Gavin McNulty lines up the slot man here to the near side for the Tigers. McNulty's in motion. He'll take the handoff on the far side. Eludes one tackle. He breaks free, has the first down and more, and he'll turn it on. And McNulty will take it the distance. No, not quite. Tackled down at around the 1 yard line. So McNulty, call it a 52-yard run, not quite able to make it in. They're going to put him down right at the BFA 1 yard line. And running off the field is Seneca DeRocher, who's a bit banged up and certainly looks like his left arm, an important component to that Bobwhite team.
Yeah, and good job by BFA just chasing him down and not giving up. Really a different burst of speed right there from Middlebury that we haven't seen yet this game.
Thomas Denoy taking his time, 1st and goal from the 1. Hands off into the second man through, and he is in. McNulty for the Tiger touchdown. So McNulty, after his big run, they go right back to big number 20 for 6 points, and the Tigers are on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's just a good drive by Middlebury for how far they had to start down in their own zone to drive the length of the field.
Take a look at the instant replay here, courtesy of Northwest Access TV. And it looks like they will go for 1. Lukish to attempt the PAT. There's the snap. Lukish's kick is up, and it is good. Our score with 8:09 remaining in the first half, BFA 7, Middlebury 7. You're watching BFA Bobwhite football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand in the second quarter as the Tigers have responded to knot things at 7. Anthony, your thoughts on that Tiger drive?
I mean, it's exactly what they needed. Their defense has been standing on their heads for how good the field position BFA had that entire time to come down and keep this game tied now.
Line drive, kick here to the near side, fielded by Tilfer. Tilfer makes one player miss, now takes it to the outside, turns on the afterburners, and gets to about the 30-yard line. So, Bobwhite offense out on the field, see what they can get going.
Yeah, this is going to be an important drive for BFA. They almost left Middlebury in this game when they could have really capitalized. If they score on 1 or 2 of those possessions when they had it deep in Middlebury territory, they'd be a lot more comfortable. Now it's all tied up, so you got to hope that those don't come back to bite BFA.
Seneca DeRocher over on the sideline. Again, he was banged up. He was in on the kick return. Back in at the tailback position is Sean Beauregard, lined up beside his quarterback, Montaigne, who calls his own number, drives ahead, and Montaigne called for a pickup of 3 on the carry.
That's going to be big for BFA. We saw anything that takes a little bit of time to develop. Middlebury's just snuffing it out real quick in the backfield. So there's going to be these quick plays that take no time to develop are going to be key for BFA.
Sets up a 2nd and 7. Ball spotted at around the BFA 29. 2 receivers set here to the near side. That's Justin Brown split out wide here to the near side. There's a snap. Pump fake fired here to the near side. Ball is caught and losing his footing, and just staying in was number 34, Thomas Demur. So Demur able to keep his footing and pick up a couple. Is going to set up a 3rd and 4.
Yeah, that's tough right there. That was a momentum kind of took him out of bounds because he kind of had the whole field in front of him. Montaigne also had Justin Brown in the middle of the field on a slant route that it seemed wide open. So that's going to be key for BFA. These quick hitters are going to make Middlebury kind of respect the pass a little bit more than they have and stop being able to load up the box so much.
So the Bobwhites going into a little bit of a breeze here. Thomas Demers splits out wide here to the near side. Shotgun formation for Cole Montang. There's a snap. Montang under heavy pressure under the blitz, and he is able to almost get back to the line of scrimmage, but almost like a prison break there, Anthony.
Yeah, and right now it's just Middlebury's line and linebackers are doing a much better job getting off the ball quicker than the BFA offensive line is, and they're just beating them through the holes and getting to the backfield.
So Seneca DeRocher checks back in. He's been a bit banged up. He did not play that offensive series, but he'll stand at his own 20 to punt away. Back deep, Joey Yomo. High end over end kick by DeRocher. Beautiful, and the ball is loose on the ground, and the Tigers recover. BFA signaling they have it, but we'll see who comes up with it from the bottom of the pile. From my vantage point up here high in the press box, I thought it was the Tigers, and indeed they maintain possession. But Anthony, I mean, their punt return game has been an adventure so far tonight.
Just everything. Their punt return. I mean, the returners can't. I mean, even on kickoffs, you see them kind of bobble the balls around a little bit. So Middlebury's returners are having a little bit of trouble. I mean, DeRocher with a great punt gets really a lot of hang time.
A lot of air time, yeah. Brian McDonough splits out wide here to the near side, and it's going to be a handoff straight ahead to the fullback, Lukish, and Lukish has 5 to set up a 2nd and 5 here for Middlebury.
Yeah, Middlebury just doing a good job, starting to really, push BFA back, and where BFA was doing a good job, stuffing stuff out for 1 or negative yardage. Middlebury doing a good job pushing forward now.
2nd and 5. Thomas Daniel up under center. 2 receivers. Straight ahead once again to the fullback Lukish, and he's going to be stopped short of the first down. Middlebury, though, looking at a short 3rd and right on the 50-yard line.
BFA defense seems like it's starting to get a little bit gas.
3rd and 1. Tigers taking some time with the play call from their head coach, Dennis Smith. Now they'll head to the line. Again, 4 receivers set. The fullback, the lone man in the backfield. Now we've got a whistle, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Middlebury head coach, Dennis Smith.
This is a big play here. BFA is able to get anything for any sort of negative yardage or stop them here. To get the ball at midfield and then kind of try and change the momentum, because Middlebury's really taken over here in the second quarter.
7-7 our score here at the Collins-Perley Sports Center. Anthony, it's great to be back here seeing 11-on-11 tackle football this year, right?
Yeah.
We had to go last year 7-7, just wasn't quite the same. Certainly not the crowd house here at the Collins-Perley.
It's just good to have somewhat of normal sports back. I mean, I came to the BFA MBU boys soccer game to kick off the season under the lights here, and just seeing a crowd here was phenomenal. Now back here, Friday night lights, as you said, back to tackle football with a huge crowd is just a great feeling, and I'm sure the players are really feeding off of this so far this year.
So defensive coordinator Rusty Brandon makes his way back here to the near sideline after huddling up with his defense. 3rd and 1 here for the Tigers. Thomas Donio with the snap. Hands off to his fullback, Lukish. Needed 1, picks up 3. And he'll have a Middlebury first down.
Yeah, right now, Middlebury is not doing anything terribly creative. It's just up the middle with Lukish. And just really tiring out BFA's front linemen.
1st and 10 for Middlebury. Brian Whitley. Long count, there's a snap. Who's getting a workout here in the second quarter.
BFA's defenders from getting any sort of penetration in there and just stopping them right there at the line. From their fullback every single time. Yeah, just tire out the defense, take a lot of clock off. So just doing a good job, especially since they defer. They'll get the ball in the second half. That'll be huge for them.
Again, motion in the backfield. And handoff to the fullback. No, quarterback keeper and racing for the first down. Good job by Thomas Daniel, pulling that ball out of.
The option comes in. He had the option there if he liked what. Pinch in, and he had the option there and took it for a good game.
Move the football once again against this BFA defense. Ball spotted at the Bobwhites here in the first half. Motion in the back. Fullback Lukish, but this time going for no gain.
Yeah, that's a good job by Sean Borgard there, getting play right there.
Yeah, I mean, last few first downs, it's been 4 or 5 yards. Sets up a 2nd and 11 at their BFA.
They're really trying to take down these last 3.5 minutes as much as they can.
2 receivers set to the far back, Nicholas Lukish. And having some running room, and he'll dive ahead for a Tiger first down. So Donia.
He did a good job seeing that all the pressure's coming from the outside. He had the middle wide open and just took off and ran, didn't try to force anything downfield.
In the first half, Tigers now at the BFA 19-yard line. And he stood up, but not until he picks up. Ball came loose at BFA at racing with the football. Save Middlebury for the run for the touchdown, but his forward progress. Kind of a quick whistle there, Anthony.
That was a real quick whistle. I mean, he was still churning his feet up the middle, and that ball came out. Very quick whistle, and unfortunate for BFA.
Defensive coordinator Rusty Brandon on the field. Out there. Dead. Got the replay during halftime on if that's available. But a big break there for just the opposite for that Bobwhite.
I'm very upset with that quick whistle. Just unfortunate for them.
Instead, Tigers maintain possession. 2nd and 6. Handoff to the far side to Whitley. Whitley stood up for no gain. Gain on the play.
But they actually had daylight out there, so they might have just. One thing I have noticed for this best linebackers, it looks like he might. Interesting to see if he gets back out there.
Good observation, Anthony. Harrison still play. And it's a little option play with the quarterback. He lowers his shoulder, and he's going to be short at the. And about 2.
And for as much as we talked about how well BFA's defensive ends were doing, keeping him to the dive, and quarterback for Middlebury.
In the game, a number of substitutions here for the Bobwhite defense, looking at a 4th. Dennis Smith on the far sideline, and they may use one of their on this 4th and 1. There we go. Use a timeout with 1 in the first half. 7-7 our score.
Convert this and then end up scoring. They get the ball back at half, and one timeout left to try and make something happen before halftime.
It's a good point, Anthony. Middlebury.
Yeah, and that would take all the momentum in the second half, knowing if they score, take the lead into the halftime, and getting the ball back. A first down, now they're really starting to take all the momentum back.
All right, everyone, if you're just joining us, Bobwhites took the early 7-0 lead on their second offensive possession of the game. Looking at a 4-yard line, Cole Montang was able to complete a pass into the end zone to first, well, and thus far only score.
Middlebury, you probably just expect to get those 2 yards, which they fancy here, just seeing if Middlebury's offensive line can push back the defensive line.
Lucas line. Tigers taking their time up under center and see if they'll use short, and Jockett James Harrison. And that's a big stop for that Bobwhite.
Huge stop, and I think right there, Middlebury almost trying to be too fancy.
Take a look at our replay, Northwest Access TV replay here, and you'll see the call to the blown up in the backfield by number 24 for the Bobwhites. Credit.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if, as we said, they're just got in their heads a little bit.
Seneca Droscher back in, breaks it outside, and he has some speed. There he goes, Droscher. Oh, it looks like on the far side, no flag.
Ooh, that's a rough no call right there.
The shoulders, and Droscher break there for the Tigers. Not
break for BFA to. You're right. It's a dangerous play right there.
As we took a look on that replay. Montang hands off straight ahead once again. Under a minute to go. Rathburn.
And if you're BFA, you do need a little sense of a little, maybe a pass here down the sideline, try to get up a big gain.
See adventurous my sense is they'll take the tie into the halftime. Thomas Demers splits out wide here to the near side, under 30 seconds to go. Droscher lines up beside his quarterback, Cole Montang. Montang with the snap, hands off. It's going to be close to a first down, and the officials whistle it down at 14 seconds, and they move the stick. So 14 seconds to go. Ball spotted.
You might see if they might take a shot on a quick slant, see if they can get a good chunky yards, and then they still got the time.
Bobwhites are going a bit into the wind. They'll wind the clock back up, and as you know, Anthony, Bobwhites will head to the locker room, and the horn sounds, and that will do it on the first half. Anthony.
BFA, I mean, it was a tale of 2 quarters. BFA did a phenomenal job on defense. Good on one drive and just didn't make Middlebury pay for the great field position that BFA had in that entire first quarter. And in the second quarter, Middlebury time, really they only had 2 drives that entire time, but they took off a lot of time on those 2 drives, just pulling out chunk yards the entire time. So Middlebury's offense did a much better job. BFA's defense with that big stop late at the second and a half. So, defense is doing what we expected it to do. Now offense needs to kind of start finding something.
I mean, one thing we kind of didn't go over, I mean, that 4th and 1, Anthony, head coach Dennis Smith for Middlebury could
have. I mean, you got to wonder if they have a confidence, especially in a swirling wind of the complex. They just really want to go for that score. Again, I'm surprised. They were picking up 4 or 5 yards with that little fullback dive up the middle. So for them, I mean, I don't know if they're trying to keep BFA off, keep them honest by going to the outside. But you mentioned Colby Williams did a good job stepping up, and James Harrison coming up and helping him out. So it's a great play by BFA, and maybe
teams had an opportunity washed away, right? I mean, Bobwhites did miss that one field goal as well in the first quarter. So with that, we'll take a timeout. Our score at the half, BFA 7, Middlebury 7. You're watching Northwest Access TV.
Just not be talking to him like that. Yeah, I know.
BFA cheering session should be familiar with this one. Pardon the interruption. If anybody has retrieved an iPhone 8 in a striped case, please return it to the boosters. Please return it to the boosters. And before we get started here for the second half, BFA community would like to wish the youngster Penny Nye a happy 19th birthday.
Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand here at the Colins-Perley Sports Center in St. Albans. Anthony, your stats for the first half.
It's kind of crazy. I didn't even think it was going to be this lopsided, but Middlebury's actually owning almost every offensive for how bad they were in that first quarter. The second quarter is really making a difference. They have 155 total yards, all rushing yards. BFA has 68 total yards. And for how good a BFA's field position was, especially in that first quarter, they're 0 for 7 on third down conversions. I mean, the one touchdown they did get was on a 4th and long, on that long passing play. So BFA's offense not really moving at all. Defense really bailing them out a lot, especially on Middlebury. And like I said, Middlebury doing a good job kind of facing that adversity, not getting a first down in that first quarter, and then really charging down the field, picking up a big chunk of yardage. 22 and a half minutes possession time to BFA's 13. So just a good job by Middlebury to kind of change the script there in the second quarter.
I mean, not a big having a challenging time offensively. I mean, they certainly did the last couple of weeks, but again, for those of you just tuning in, Middlebury, prior to tonight's 0 points to the two teams they have played. So
but BFA's defense set them up so well just by scoring that it really gave BFA an opportunity at the 25-yard line to start one drive after they were already up 7-0 and then went nowhere.
Got nothing.
And
that was a
missed field goal.
Yep.
And then, so the average yard field position for BFA start has been phenomenal, but just the offense hasn't been able to do anything with it. Just kind of a little bit one-dimensional almost, just with a lot of kind of dives with Seneca DeRocha. And Middlebury's line and linebackers are doing a good job getting off the ball so well that they're really snuffing everything out for really minimal yardage.
So the Middlebury squad on the far side of the field, they'll be set to return onto the field right now. So head coach Jeff Murray and his assistants had a little bit more to say, it sounds like.
Going to come out and maybe change something on offense a little bit. I mean, you want to see if maybe like some quick slants or something like that will really catch Middlebury off guard, because we saw in that last pass attempt for BFA where Middlebury kind of sent the house. So if you think of maybe a little quick slant, might be able to catch them off guard if they're sending the linebackers in up the middle. All these plays that are taking a long time to develop are really hurting BFA because Middlebury is just so much quicker than.
It's on the clock when BFA came out, so it'll be interesting to see. I see the officials heading back over to the Middlebury sideline. I think they were expecting see if we can potentially locate some out-of-town scores for you. Leading at the half, 21-7. They're hosting Colchester this evening. It's Windsor 21, Springfield 6. Anthony, if you see anything else at the half, this one a little bit of a surprise. Anthony, you kind of flagged it earlier here this evening. It's the South Burlington Seawolves 7, Hurricanes 7 at the half.
Yeah. South Burlington has really struggled, as we mentioned, kind of getting demolished last weekend by Middlebury and just not getting any points. Really going toe-to-toe with a good Hartford team right now.
Seawolves, a team that the Bobwhites will play next week on the road Not clear to us yet if it will be at Burlington High School or at South. You're not going to have to worry about where to go. Northwest Access TV will be there for you, so you'll be able to tune in on the Northwest Access TV, Comcast, and likely YouTube as well. So folks at home to sit back, relax, and take that game in as we hit the road.
Yeah, it was interesting to see on that last defensive drive for BFA how much of a difference one person can kind of make. We saw James Harrison on the sideline, seemed like he's trying to work something out with his lower body, and Middlebury was driving down the field, and as soon as he gets back in there, that's kind of where BFA started getting a bunch of, a couple of big stops, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes throughout this game.
So Middlebury gets the ball to start the third quarter. Bobwhites will have the wind to their back in the third quarter, so
Middlebury returners, I don't think they've punt or kick cleanly yet. They kind of bobbled everything so far. So it'll be interesting to see if they can get one cleanly here and make a good return.
Gavin Frady's set to kick away for the Bobwhites, who are huddled up. Jackson Gillette back. Frady's line drive kick, and it'll take a little hop at the 15-yard line over to that far side as Gillette trying to take it, but nowhere to run, and he's upended at the 19-yard line. Nice tackle there by James Harrison.
Yeah, and you saw Gillette there instead of Brian Whitley back there, so you got to wonder if maybe with the bobbles that were going on out there, they put somebody that Whiteley was having back there.
So here we go, start the second half. The football right at their 20-yard line over the Colins-Perley Sports Center. Quarterback Ryan Thomas Daniel. There's the snap. Daniel will pitch it here to the near side to Lukish, and Lukish picks up 5 on the pitch.
A little bit shorter of a gain. Lucas kind of just ran through those tackles.
Sets up a 2nd and 5. It's a linebacker roll. Again, Bobwhites showing 5 men up front. Really daring, running a 5-4, really daring Middlebury to put the ball in the air. Motion again in the backfield by BFA. In on the tackle, number 21, Justin Brown.
It's something that BFA kind of struggled with a little bit toward the end of the second quarter, was keeping the quarterback inside, but doing a good job pushing him in.
So Bobwhites defending the quarterback option will set up a 3rd and 5 here for the Tigers at their own 25. Double wing formation here for the Tigers. Motion in the backfield. Runner on the far side of the field for minimal gain. And 4th and 5, Tigers likely to punt.
Kind of shift a little bit in its stance, but be the same for BFA if they punt it here.
For the Tigers, it's been an adventure for them. Just able to get down. Oh, just gets it away. And we'll take a Tiger. The Tigers, who had special team issues in the first half, now it's the
tough right there. The BFA returner was falling to the ground. Not sure why he was trying to touch it. Good opportunity right there for Middlebury now to take over now in BFA territory, and just terrible luck for BFA.
So instead of the Bobwhites having the ball at the 49-yard line, it's the Tigers offense that will head back out onto the field. Thomas Daniel up under center. Here's a snap. Play action, running its own number on the quarterback keeper to the near side, picks up a block, turns a his shoulder, number 24, Colby Williams, delivering the hit. But it is a pickup of 7 on the play.
Yeah, it looks like Middlebury almost got away with a little bit of a clip there in the backfield. James Harrison went in. It seemed like he had a free shot at the quarterback and kind of got clipped in the back a little bit.
Remaining here in the third quarter. A muffed punt setting up the Tiger offense. 4 receivers set. Handoff straight ahead to the fullback, who is taken down immediately by Cam Bailey.
It's a good job by Bailey. You're really getting in that backfield and making a minimal gain right there. Right, BFA.
And 4 at the BFA 42. Again, Tigers will spread the in. Motion in the backfield. And no. Maybe a pickup of 2. Again, that was that option play, and they fed the
quickly. And good job by BFA's ends, really crashing in on that quarterback, making it so he had no choice but to let the fullback take it.
So no huddle here for the Tigers, looking to go for it at the Bobwhite 41-yard line. Bobwhite defense held them. See if they're able to do it again. Quarterback sneaks straight ahead, and well, I don't know. It's going to be close. I got to. It's going to be short. And indeed, he is. I mean, they put the ball down at the 40-yard line, but he needed to make it to about the 39 and a half.
And the stick is clearly past the 40-yard line. Not even going to.
White defense bails out the special teams unit.
Yeah, and again, BFA defense is just being so strong and coming up with timely stops. And right there, I mean, Middlebury probably learned from the going to the outside, just going right at the middle. And just a great job by that BFA defensive front. And James Harrison, again, with big stops for BFA.
Splitting out wide here to the near side. That's Colby Williams. Handoff will go straight ahead to DeRocher, who makes one man miss. There goes DeRocher, and he'll have enough for a BFA first down. 14-yard gain, and a late flag comes in. Up, if anything.
I didn't see anything in the clutter of people.
Ball stands at the 45. We're going to have the call. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty, so a minor face mask infraction, and they'll mark it at the Tiger 40-yard line. 7:48 remaining in the third quarter. 7-7 our score. Clock stops with
Bell too quickly with Middlebury, really doing a good job.
Little pitch here to the near side to Seneca. They're trying to spring him free. Makes one defender miss, but nowhere to run. That was a little lateral, technically trying to free him up out in the flats.
Where Middlebury's just beating the BFA blockers to the ball and just really.
I mean, the Bobwhites had 3 receivers out to try to block there. Now they'll go to a 4-receiver set. 2 up on the top side of your screen, 2 on the bottom side. And running around trying to find something. Shoots up under heavy pressure. Turned a negative into a positive.
Good. At the middle, right as soon as he stopped that ball.
I said 6, call it 10 on the play. That's going to set up a much more manageable 3rd and 5 at the Tiger 35.
Quarterback like Montang, who has a great arm and can make plays like that happen on the run.
Thomas Demers splits out wide here to the near side. Play action, under pressure again, and for a loss of 6 at the 4. Away here.
Yeah, that's kind of one of those things right now where Middlebury Direction play action just isn't working just because Middlebury's in the backfield before they can even get a play developed.
Seneca Derosier back to punt. He'll stand at his 45-yard line. Jackson Gillette for the punt return. High end over end kick. 15. Well, that's one way to not make it an adventure, Anthony.
Just a smart play right there. He had Harrison breathing. Actually got fielded cleanly for Middlebury.
6:17 remaining here in the third quarter. 7, Middlebury 7.
See if BFA's defense can position a little bit again.
Defenses here this evening. Thomas Dagnon. Option play to his tailback, and he's wrapped up. Number is good for about 5 on the quarterback option.
Yeah, and right now, it does a good job by BFA limiting that right there, but the end kind of got sucked in. Just had to come and get the pitch man. So right now, BFA is just going to have to really stick to their assignments with the ends getting that quarterback.
So 17-yard line. Long count. They held off to the second man through. Looking to turn the corner is Austin Neal. Ball is loose. Do they give it to BFA this time? BFA.
Looks like a referee already signaled first down for Middlebury.
Second time this evening, they're the Bob. At least the Bobwhite coaches would say a quick whistle made for a no turnover. 5:26 remaining here in the third quarter. 7. Wishbone backfield. Thomas Dagnon up under. Play action pass on the far side. Lofts it high into the air, and it is caught. Pickup of 6 on Jackson Gillette, who came down with it. Called a reception of 5, maybe 6. 4:48 remaining here in the third quarter. Clock. On backfield. Thomas Dagnon up on. And James Harrison blows things up in the backfield for BFA. On the McNulty with the run, but Harrison almost took.
We're noticing that BFA's defense is much better with him out there. He's all over this field right now and doing a good job coming up with those timely saves or those timely stops.
Offensively, 3rd and long. Call it 3rd and 9 at their own 26-yard line. 4 minutes remaining here in the.
A team that likes to pick up those chunk yardage, so these third. That makes them have to do something, either a counter or a pass play.
With that, defensive coordinator Rusty Brannon out on the field to talk to his Bobwhites on this 3rd and long. Anthony, what's Coach Brannon likely saying?
I wouldn't be surprised to see something kind of like the triple option that we've seen a little bit if BFA is going to kind of with the fullback, or you could also have a little option play on the outside if they see those ends pinching. If they see those ends pinching, that's almost an easy 5-6 yards if they get to the outside, because it's basically going to be a 2-on-1 on the corner if the linebackers can't get out there and fill if the end ends up pitching in too far.
Anthony, 14-7. A little surprised at the closeness of that game.
Yeah, it's for how much Rutland's also been kind of going through everybody, including Burton last weekend. It's a fairly
historically Division I, but the last number of years Division II. All right, here we go. Back on the field here at the Colins-Perley in St. Albans. 4 receivers set, 2 to the near side. To pass. fires over the middle and deflected. Going to be forced to punt away into the wind.
Going around the run right there. He's had a couple of, in the flats, but anything down the field or on the run, he doesn't look as comfortable.
Cole Montaigne now drops.
Yeah, and it's interesting here because Middlebury put Sawyer shorter than their other punter.
Cataract's back out there again. Makes the catch has a roll to the near side, turns the corner into Middlebury territory.
Good job, Cole, right there, feeling it cleanly and picking up some yards, get it back on Middlebury side.
So Bob territory at the Middlebury 48-yard line. We've had a good one here, folks, this Friday evening in Vermont high school football. 3:40 remaining in our score.
Yeah, just another. Eventually, they have to take advantage of this stray field position if they're going to come away with a win here.
Now we got. Looks like Middlebury. Ball across the field.
It might say Middlebury a little.
Side of the field here for the Bobwhites. Cole Montaigne looking, fires. Who has a first down for BFA?
And those little quick passes are exactly what BFA. 4-yard dump off and then took it to the house. So, that's exactly what BFA needs, especially with how much pressure Middlebury's been getting on Montaigne the last few drives.
Rye was certainly down at Mount Mansfield with 2 touchdown receptions.
And you got to wonder if Middlebury's going to sell out to try and, sack Montaigne. I mean, those little flat passes play and turn into 20 plus.
Again, win not a huge factor. More minutes here in the first half. Now to this side, firing is Montaigne and high and incomplete out of the outstretched hands of Thomas DeMar.
That's kind of where it looks all on point when he's on the run, where Middlebury's quarterback looks a little bit more uncomfortable and not quite.
Stops with the incompletion with 2:48 remaining here in the third quarter. Ball spotted at the Tiger 25-yard line.
You got to wonder, after seeing a couple of pass plays where Middlebury's going to start have to respect that. You see that little quick dive right up the middle with DeRocha uses speed up the middle. But it looks like Middlebury's really loading that box, bringing their linebackers right up into those A-gaps.
Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 men in the box. So back to passes. BFA seeing that. Fires it here to the near side. Ball is incomplete. Was looking for Seneca DeRocher out of the backfield and was just a little high.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of stopped running a little bit and didn't finish out the route and kind of tried to jump it. Just over his head, got to keep running that out and get the ball. Good job by Montaigne getting it out under pressure and kind of putting it on target to where his guy could get it.
So here we go, 3rd and 10 at the 35. Clock stops with the incompletion, 2:43 remaining here. Maybe in 4-down territory, Anthony?
Yeah, you got to think so, especially this deep at the 35. And right here, I mean, with them bringing their linebackers, I would be surprised if wouldn't be surprised if BFA went up the middle here.
High snap way over the head of Montaigne, and ball is still loose on the ground, and the Bobwhites fortunate to recover. There's going to be a flag as Cole Montaigne attempted to kick the football. Seneca DeRocher fell on the football. Another flag comes in. See, this call certainly coming against the Bobwhites. See what the call is. Anthony, should I put you on the spot?
This is I've never seen this before, and it looks like the refs are kind of curious of how to handle this as well. I mean, the flags definitely came out when Montaigne kicked it, so it's probably wondering yardage, if it's from the spot of where the line of scrimmage was or the spot of where it happened. This is definitely not a situation you usually see a lot. But that definitely does take BFA out of 4-down territory now, where you definitely think it's
penalties decline. Maybe it was maybe a trip
Well, I think they called it for kicking, but you wonder whether where DeRocha recovered it, 10 yards back, Middlebury might as well just decline the penalty and take it where it ended.
Yep. All right, heading back is Jackson Gillette. Seneca DeRocher stands at his 41. There's a snap. DeRocher. And will stop right at the 6-yard line. Anthony, what a gorgeous kick.
I mean,
wow.
There's not much more you can do. He had that. DeRocha is really helping this BFA defense, pinning Middlebury back deep as much as he has this game.
I mean, he's been a punting placement machine this evening.
Which is something you don't really think about a lot in high school football, but this game is showing exactly how beneficial it can be if you have a punter that can be that accurate and pin him in that deep as well as he has been.
I mean, other than that last drive off the miffed punt, Middlebury has been pinned back continuously in this game.
Yeah, and they haven't been, and he has such a high hang time. They haven't been able to really field it cleanly.
So double wing formation now in the backfield. Handoff goes to the second. And Neal rumbles ahead for call it 5 on the carry. 2:10 remaining here in the third. Colins-Perley.
Going to be another. It almost seems like it's going to be whoever scores next going to take all the momentum.
Cluttick, pickup of 6. That will set up a 2nd and 4 here. Tigers calling the play call right on the line of scrimmage. Motion in the backfield. Rolling out and under pressure is the quarterback, and he's going to be Gavin Freites in. Hey.
Yeah, look like it's almost like what's been happening with BFA, where folded. BFA was already in the backfield. Good job.
A minute 12 to go. Clock runs. 3rd and 9. Ball.
The defensive ends.
Double wing formation. Now pass. And he's sacked again in the. Justin Brown.
Good job stunning in there, setting the linebacker before the quarterback could even do anything with it.
45 seconds left. He's going to be forced to punt from deep within their territory into a little bit of wind, and we've got a banged up Middlebury Tiger limping to the sideline. And
great as far as fielding the snap and getting a good punt off. It's not like they have DeRocha back there, so BFA should have really good field position off of this.
Caldere back there again, gets it under pressure. And Cole Montang makes the catch, and he's hit immediately, but he holds on to the ball. Hopefully Montang is okay. He pops up, and that's good to see. Once again in Middlebury territory at the Middlebury College 27-yard line with 11 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, right there. It's nice that Montang went up and fielded it to, not probably want your quarterback to fair catch it right there for how short of a punt it was, but Middlebury was able to get down there quickly.
So 11 seconds to go, so probably one play with a little bit of steady wind to their backs. Splitting out wide here to the near side is Tegan Rathburn. There's a snap, and Seneca have a BFA first down.
I'm gonna wonder if BFA is starting to just build the momentum off their defense. I mean, Middlebury may be a little flat-footed because they're a little down because of where this field position has been in the past couple drives.
4 seconds remaining on the momentarily with the first down, but they'll now wind the clock to run it once again down to 2-1. The horn sounds, and that will do it for the third quarter of play. Our score. You're watching BFA Bobwhite football on Northwest Access TV. Welcome back, everyone. Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand here at the Collins-Perley Sports Center in St. Albans. Anthony, we've got ourselves a real good one here.
Yeah, and that change of quarter was probably beneficial for Middlebury to kind of settle them down, because it seemed like they were on their heels a little bit after the short punt gave BFA the ball deep in their own territory. So good for them, or it's probably good for them to kind of settle down a little bit.
1st and 10 for the Bobwhites at the Middlebury 16-yard line, trying to break this 7-7 tie. And the quarterback's keeper straight ahead to Montang, and nowhere to run for the quarterback.
It seemed like there was a lot of trying to do some misdirection or some fakes out there that Middlebury just snuffed right out.
Loss of 3, maybe 4. I mean, the one thing the Bobwhites can ill afford here, and it happened back in the first quarter, is to lose yardage and put their kicking team in a tough position on a field goal.
Yeah, or this close in, they just need everything to just go forward. They probably can't be too fancy just because Middlebury's been doing such a good job of just getting negative yards out there from the defense.
Blitz on, and ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. So Montang just able to get that off with 3 defenders in his face.
And you see James Harrison going back in, so he wasn't in those couple plays. So you got to wonder if maybe the protection wasn't there because with him on the sideline.
17. Again, in high school football, no gimmies in the field goal game. So Bobwhite this first down. Kicking tee to see if it will be needed after this next play.
I'll be surprised if you see a little flat play to Dakota Rye, get him a little just ball in his hand, see what he can do.
Pressure again. Montang throws it up. Flag. Pass was intended, I believe, for Deegan Rathburn.
Yeah, and you saw the Middlebury defender kind of hook. Also a good pass interference call right there.
That should be enough for the first down. It was 3rd and 13 as they talk with the Bobwhite offense. Pass. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 1st and goal. 9. Well, what do we got? 3rd. All right. So we'll call it 3rd and 3 at the 9. So we'll see what head coach Jeff Murray dials up here offensively. 2 receivers set here to the near. DeRocher loses the football, and they're going to call it incomplete, and that's unfortunate for BFA, because if that back, he had times they've done that, Anthony, at least from my vantage point, it's actually been a lateral pass.
And it looked like that was real close to either. It was forward.
So, Bobwhite special teams onto the field. The field goal looks to be about a 26-yard field goal attempt into long enough, and it is good. Frady's connects from 26. Bobwhites retake the lead.
Yeah, and special teams right now has been the key for BFA. Seneca DeRoche punting, and Gavin Frady's field goal kicking. Special teams really coming up in defense, coming up huge for BFA.
With 10:48 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Maybe not quite as much with some teams. Right quickly.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is if they can put it together a drive like that'll be huge here in the 4th quarter. So BFA's defense is going to have to come up big again. This series, BFA, if they didn't lose yardage right there, would have given them enough of the first down.
Good point. and for folks wondering at home why that wasn't an automatic first down penalty, and where BFA was positioned, it was half the distance to the goal line, so you don't get the full 15 yards. So Frady needs to kick away from his own 40-yard line. It's going to be a little line drive kick fielded by the Tigers at the 40-yard line. I think Frady's was hoping that was going to take a little kind of hop up in the air.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising right there because this is going to be Middlebury's best field position to start out. Off team has been a good job getting down there. So you got to, yeah, as you mentioned, instead of driving it down.
So Tigers with 10:45 remaining start this drive off at their own 45-yard line. Center, double wing formation, motion in the backfield. He'll pick up 3 on the carry, maybe 4.
It's a good job by BFA, really. He's got a size and speed that seems to be a little bit.
Harrison substitute back off the field. Tigers looking at a 2nd and 6. I think cramps looking just hamstrings, and there goes McNulty on the far side. 1 or 2, and again the
looks like the calf for Harrison down here.
yeah, his calf is apparently giving him cramps as they work on his right calf here on the near sideline.
That's what huge. If BFA is able to stop him with Harrison on the sideline here, that's going to be huge if they can get 3 and out from Middlebury. Because BFA also, if they put a drive together, it could take up a lot of this clock.
Here on the near side, now you're going to motion on the far side, and the Bobwhites sniff out the fullback for no gain on the play.
Yeah, and right there, Middlebury made it easy because the fullback, quarterback, and tailback were all clustered together, where the 3 BFA defenders were able to keep them all in one circle right there, as opposed to spreading out where the quarterback could have broke a little free if they had a little bit more space out there.
So defense holds. Again, they continue to work on the calf muscles of James Harrison on the near sideline. That's Cole Montang, who will head back deep. Punt return. Fourth and 6. Bobwhites, special teams, turns the trick once again.
Yeah, you just gotta wonder here: is it the long snapper who's just getting a little bit of nerves here, or I'm not sure. I'd be curious to see why Middlebury's switching punters, because this punter that they've had in, number 79, Sawyer Cataract, doesn't have quite the height that the other punter does. So maybe the other punter is able to bring that down. That one was really high, so that one was on the long snapper. But special teams not good today for Middlebury.
Yeah, certainly the difference thus far in this evening's game.
Yeah, just a lot of mistakes are really costing them. Fortunately for them, the defense has kind of bailed them out a lot, but BFA's got to make them pay here starting out at the 22.
2-possession game. Thomas DeMar splits out wide to the far side. Telfer splits out wide here to the near side. Now we've got a whistle, and we're going to have a timeout taken by head coach Jeff.
Here was a little confused. Were they supposed to be online, offline? It's a good job by Coach Murray making sure they don't get a cheap penalty out there that put them, first and long.
BFA 10, Middlebury 7. If you're just joining us, no, overall they had not even allowed a single point. Bobwhites 1-1 overall, winning their first game of the season. Following on a close one on the road at Hartford. Week as they take on the, frankly, Anthony, starting 3 of their first 4 games on the road, will have a bit of a home stretch after next week.
Yeah, this is a tough stretch for them. So not an easy stretch to start for them, and then going back.
10 at the BFA Middlebury 22-yard line. Montang looking to fire here to the near side. Has a man open, and is caught. Tilfer with an outstanding. Ryan Whitley And the Bobwhites knocking on the door. First and goal from the 2.
Yeah, and good job by Telf for coming back, fighting through the contact where the defender wasn't even turned around. And good job fighting through that and adjusting for the ball. Right up the middle, or just put Seneca DeRocha right up the middle.
Montang up under center. Quarterback sneak, and he pushes ahead, and not a whole lot there. Probably call it no gain, looking at a second and goal at about the 2.
And what makes this tough is BFA's offensive line hasn't been able to get much of a push against Middlebury's, so it's going to make it where these quarterback sneaks are a little bit tougher. You saw Montang there try to adjust off the guard there. Pressure up the middle. Just going to be pinching everything inside right here.
Deegan right to the field. Thomas DeMars puts out wide here to the near side. Now shotgun formation for Cole Montang. DeRocher, who stood up at the goal line, he's down to the 1. So
that's a good job by Austin Neal for Middlebury, making sure he didn't get forward momentum into the goal line and holding him at that 1 right there.
7:36 remaining. Line. Again, Bobwhites.
I'd be surprised to see BFA maybe split it out a little bit here. Put Montang in.
That's the play, and Montang is in for a BFA. Yard out.
That's just phenomenal right there. Not having everything inside, so it keeps Middlebury honest and doing a good job just finding his open hole and getting it was Montang.
Taking a look at our Northwest Access TV replay, you see Cole Montang looks to the right-hand side, finds a little bit of a lane, and is in for 6 points. Back. It's high enough, and it is good. With 7:15 remaining in the 4th quarter, it's BFA 17, Middlebury 7. You're watching BFA Bobwhites.
To the 4th, 14-14.
To the Collins-Perley Sports Center, Tate Brooks, Anthony Labor on hand, and Anthony, the game.
Yeah, that's exactly what they needed. If they didn't capitalize right there after the bad snap on the punt for Middlebury, that gives Middlebury all the momentum going forward. And this really puts a separation in where it's going to put Middlebury in the kind of emergency mode where they got to throw, which they haven't looked good doing so far today.
Side number 20, McNulty, down at around the 33-yard line. So again, we were mentioning earlier this Tiger team not built as a quick strike team. Again, they rushed 40 times for over 200 yards last week. Very little did they have to throw the football in their first 2 games of the season.
Yeah, it looks like 5, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of change maybe to that 5-man once it starts getting into that must-pass situation.
Bobwhites been running pretty much a base. And tipped it incomplete, almost intercepted. Cole Montang had a beat on that football.
It looks like Middlebury changed quarterbacks. It's Gillette in there now instead of Daniel.
Jackson Gillette, sophomore.
You got to wonder if maybe he's a little bit more comfortable running the passing offense as opposed to Daniel.
Two receiver set to the near side. Two receiver to the top side of your screen. Gillette fires it deep downfield, and it is 11, Cole Schnur.
Looks like they got a flag on the far side there.
Flag rests right around the line of scrimmage. At talking things over on what was a second. Offense, so this one looks to be against BFA. It's going to be 5 yards, automatic first down here. 6:56 remaining here. Hughes splits out wide here to the near side. Receiver set. Gillette, play action. Loses the football, it's down. 2. He's scrambling upfield. Once again.
Forcing that. Say enough.
The coaching staff had, well, just
right, and right here, I mean, if you're BFA, really
the fourth quarter, 1 yard line. The Seneca on the play. Of lines.
Job right now. Defense is that entire defense last time. Just a good job by kind of a
Middlebury defensive and the Seahorses again. A bit of a surprise. It's Hartford. We'll try to keep quarter. It's Brattleboro leading North Country 21-0. Windsor all over Springfield. They were leading 14-7 at the half.
And just kind of get a snap off still.
Sean Beauregard checks in beside. He's upended in the backfield. Also a flag. Flag will stop the clock at quarter. That clock moving.
Yep.
Penalty. No such. Burn off the clock here. And 9 again.
With that penalty, though, it keeps them at second. There, so really, it's they get an extra down, and the worst case scenario for BFA.
Formation. Sean number. Montang drives at a 3rd and long. Out there on the field.
Yeah, just take up as much time. So if we just take out as much time off, very showing that they so far.
17. 5:30 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Head coach use the clock. Expect probably another. 4 receivers set as they try to throw it. Fires it over high, and Matt Keeman.
And Middlebury, BFA trying to surprise him with a pass, but pass off.
Seneca DeRocher heads back out and at his own 46-yard line. On the near side, looking to throw it upfield, and should be an incomplete pass. They're going to call it a fumble. What are they going to call it? Incomplete pass? I think DeRocher had more time back there than he expected.
Yeah, I think he could have gotten at least out to enough in Middlebury territory now.
Bobwhites recovered that fumble. 4:53 remaining here for the Tigers. By 10 points.
Wonder if they for that pass.
That here to the near side. Puck though. Now race up.
Yeah, it looked like shoulder check him.
Of a player to
because he has shown that he can, in space, get out there. It does look like he's a little bit hobbled right now, so I'm going to be curious. The line right now is Daniel.
4:15 remaining. Thomas Daniel under. Pitch over to the far side of the field to Lucas, and middle down sets up a third side. Under 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
If you're BFA, and right now you can see Daniel just going to the line. He's hobbling, so you got to wonder how much is that downfield.
4 receivers set. Fires it in the air, has his man open for the first down. Picked up 7. Jordan Martin, the 6'1" senior.
Daniel took another.
3:24 clock. Continues the run. Bobwhites with a 10-point lead. 4 Thomas Daniel hobbles under pressure, steps up in the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. 2-yard loss on the play. Frady's on the sack.
The thing is, right, BFA sent 3 men and still got the sack there, so good job by that BFA front.
Yeah. Like extra special.
Yeah, that's exactly all you can ask for. I mean, it doesn't look like they have straight linemen in there yet. Good job getting pressure right now on the quarterback, just setting 3 still.
Again, now he races here to the near side. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Ball hawking there for.
Yeah, and even though Daniel's getting this pass off, he's not having a lot of time. He's getting
DeMar getting a hand on the football there. Replay. Quarter, if you're just tuning in, it's the BFA Bobwhites with a.
Then it's Finn Whitlock at quarterback.
Good catch. Whitlock under. Turn the corner, and he does, and steps the clock. Maybe a pickup of 3 on.
Back. Frady is doing right now. Frady's is causing so.
For the this evening.
And forcing the quarterbacks to hold.
The backfield. Play action. Field and incomplete. No. Once again.
Yeah, and their entire roster at quarterback. That was a shot. Field, and nobody's really been able.
6 remaining here, which would be an impressive. No undefeated.
Middlebury is a top team. Go down to Hartford last week, go toe-to-toe with them. Defense did today, being able to hold Middlebury to 7 points so far.
Tight formation. Handoff straight ahead to number 44, Sean Bohr. Press does have their kind of power. And they had Middlebury as the best team in the state.
Get up for point, and their defense has played well today. I mean, they've really given. I mean, the only time BFA has scored is when the special teams. Phenomenal, but just their offense has kind of been a little bit stagnant. Other than that second quarter, and special teams has been rough all.
Handoff straight ahead again to Beauregard. Bobwhites not going to have quick. Let's see, 109 remaining.
Middlebury might get this first down here.
Again, the Tiger defense this evening, Anthony, but how about this BFA defense?
Just phenomenal.
There's the snap. Montaigne race more, and that's going to do it. He slides back. Cole Montaigne to stay in bounds.
Yeah, and you really got to give a lot of credit there. Thomas DeMar with a great job sliding inbounds, getting the first down.
Restarts as they reset the sticks. Bobwhites head into their victory. Time official says one more time, boys. Do it. As the clock rolls down with 10 on hand here at the Colins-Perley. Had an opportunity to see 11-man tackle football, and they're on their. The Bobwhites win over undefeated.
Yeah, just a great job by BFA. All the momentum, but BFA's defense stood tall at the end of the second quarter there to keep Middlebury out, and Middlebury never. Phenomenal job. Again, only got 68 yards. But their defense and special teams did such a good job. Of offense out there. Middlebury actually in that second half.
Wow.
So just did a phenomenal job. James Harrison, who was probably their best defensive. His entire team, special teams. I mean, Middlebury in as much as he did. So I mean, this kind of shows how important all three facets. Stagnant defense and special teams was phenomenal out there. For special teams has had 2 scores coming into today. Offense did enough out there, but
the Bobwhites carry the day. Again, we saw back our BFA team as well, by the way. So this team should be pretty competitive.
How to keep drives going and deep in Middlebury territory where the line that going, this is going to be a tough team to beat with that defense and with the special.
And the thing about certainly Jeff Murray coach teams, they always on the offensive side of the ball. Again, you know, again, it's repetition. They run the wing tee. A lot of these kids have been running that wing tee for years now. They're only going to improve.
Where those slow starts always seem to hurt BFA, where the defense would always, point where the defense kind of broke a little bit. BFA just came up short a few years ago. One of the top teams in the state, so coming away with and then coming in and really shut. Had 155 yards in that first half, and really had one bad quarter defensively. Really about 40 yards, 50 yards the other 3 quarters. So that just really shows how good this. Everything they could. Their pass coverage was phenomenal out there. So it's good to kind of just pick it up, as you said, get better throughout the year and try to make teams pay for what their defense.
All right, thank you, Anthony. For Anthony Labor.